Alright. We're all ready. Wait, this is too loud. Hello everyone. Welcome back to what do I even call this? I haven't fully decided if I should call it just UFO 50 or whatever specific game I'm playing. Maybe I'll decide to do multiple, I don't know. But here we are. Now, I have a lot of things to say about this whole collection, which I actually kind of got into yesterday, but today, we're just gonna be focusing on this one. Hello, welcome to the stream. So this game, this Mooncat, another game about a cat, I suppose. Something about that tends to be the kind of games I enjoy. This one, also let me know if the audio is all good. This game is very bizarre. It might be something that you have to play yourself to understand fully. Audio is fine. I mean, there's not much going on right now. There'll be music later. This game is bizarre. Let me describe the controls for a second. Imagine if you're using a controller. I'm not using a controller, but imagine if you are. You'll use the D-pad and the face buttons, maybe like A and B or whatever. Imagine the D-pad moves you to the left, and the face buttons move you to the right. So if you press up, if you press down, any of those would make you go left. If you press A or B, then you go right. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Imagine there's just two buttons, and with a combination of these buttons, you can do stuff. You can run by double tapping, and jump by pressing the opposite button. So basically, I'm just holding. Well, I'm just gonna refer to the buttons as like left and right. So just holding down the right button, pressing left is a jump. So if you don't want to think about controls at all, it's basically just one button. And then of course you need to swap things to turn around. I think I'm just gonna play through the game semi-normally, because I think it's worth appreciating before I just run through it. That is the goal eventually. What exactly is going on? What is Mooncat? I don't know. I don't have the answers to these questions. Maybe the music is quiet. Yeah, I think that's alright. I think there might be some problem on my side with the audio. She also got this like dive, ground pound attack. You can bounce off of things. I guess this is technically a speedrun too. There's like, well, maybe I'll get into that later. I'll just go through the normal progression. There's all these skeletons in the background. Speaking quietly. I'm looking at OBS, and every time I speak at a moderate volume, it like goes into the red. So maybe I am quiet, I don't know. I'll just like listen back to the stream. Look at this just tower of goals. I'm not quite sure, like there's some sort of lore behind this game. I don't know if anyone's figured that out. This room is a reference to a different game in the collection. If you're not doing speed tech, there's this nice right you can take at the top. Just kind of bouncing everything. Everything smooths, like everything flows surprisingly well. Oops. Unless you do that. by moving forward. Actually bizarre all the time. You can jump over here. But we're not going there. Hyperlight Drifter, I'm aware of it. I've not played it. If you ask me about any game, 90% of the time I'll say, yeah, I've heard of it, and maybe I've seen a decent amount of gameplay or whatever, but I've probably not played it. Would I like to? Maybe. I mean, oh, okay. I'll bring something up in the next water area. I think there's another water area. Actually, can't remember at the moment. It's a cool game. It's just that there's a lot of those. You know. Also, the music. This song is like bizarre. It has like okay, I don't know like music theory stuff, but it's like strange in a few interesting ways. I guess that doesn't really mean anything unless you also know. Hello, welcome to the stream. It's like Cat versus Mooncat. Ultimate battle. In a weird way, this game is actually kind of similar to Rain World. Obviously, you know, there's huge differences, but it kind of has a similar feel of being kind of bizarre, kind of hard to get used to. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've streamed. That might be why. Kind of took a break for a bit. Oh, I got really close to that one. I feel better. Yeah, mostly. Most of the time. You can go up here. I'm not gonna do that yet. Whoops. Sometimes mistakes in this game look so bizarre. Like, how would you accidentally like throw yourself off a cliff like that? But it just happens. There's a little secret path down here. Just for fun. I'm not sure why that's there, but it also kind of makes me think that there might be more secrets that I haven't found yet. I'm definitely familiar with like most of the secrets, I think. You know, if there's some random invisible thing somewhere. Is this? You can just bounce on it. Oh. Also, skeletons like stacked up on each other for some reason. It's kind of a strange. And also in the tiles, like right here, this tile, there's a skull here too, and here. They're like, yeah, let's split skeletons everywhere. That's just how the game is. Okay, good job. That was excellent timing. Is the stream broken? Why does this always happen? Yeah, I don't even know what's happening to the stream. Like I can't tell if it's lagging or if it's like frozen completely. Or if you can hear me at all. Sometimes I think that the stream just like freezes up. Okay, I think it fixed itself. See, I don't even know. What is the reason for that? Also, when you die, just like fish. I don't know what's up with that. I mean, I think Mooncat's this creature. I think you are. Oops, that's just the wrong direction. I think you are like some sort of fish. Oops. Oh no, I accidentally pressed one button slightly for another. Therefore, you jump off the cliff. Also, you can kill ghosts, because why not? Milano reference. I think there's another game that's more similar to that. I just got reminded of something that I'm not happy about. Well, we'll get around to that. This is also a good song. Actually, okay, so the developer of this game, this collection has a lot of games, obviously. You know, they were made by different developers. The person who made this game also made the soundtrack for like most of the other games, as well as like a handful of entire games on their own as well. Crazy. I mean, I think there are only like 6 developers on the whole team, so collectively each one had to contribute quite a lot, you know. But most of the music in the whole collection, you can probably say it's this developer, which I don't remember which one specifically, but you can probably look it up. Which also, if you don't know, a lot of the developers for this collection also worked on Spelunky. This is like their next big project after Spelunky 2, or actually during Spelunky 2. I think they actually started development before, or maybe around the same time. Anyway, here's the boss fight. That was not a good spot to be in. Yeah, so these games like kind of emulate some properties of like older consoles. Some artifacts, like sound effects, I think have some sort of limit to them. Sometimes like sounds will overlap with each other, or they won't overlap. If they play at the same time, one of them just gets canceled out. There's a few other things like here and there, but also like some things that just would not be possible. That kind of make the experience better. I mean, better, arguably. Like some people probably want those kind of things, or they think that it's appealing or nostalgic. This is one egg out of 3. There's 3 endings. There they are in the corner. I've already gotten all of them, of course. Maybe I'll do like a pseudo speedrun. Let's get all the eggs real quick. But if I die, I'm not gonna reset. I'm not doing like actual attempts yet. But in terms of like speed tech, this game is like surprisingly dense. See how much you can utilize these dashes. Double tap a key to do a dash. And the slide after the dash is like slightly faster than normal running. But for the most part, you want to run all the time. If you do a slide off of a platform, you actually stay level for a moment. Which way am I going? I just got that one. Okay, yeah. I know which path to take. We'll skip there to get into that warp that is invisible. These mushroom guys. So okay, here we're in a new area. These mushrooms jump when you jump. This is one of my favorite rooms in the whole speedrun. Really like dense movement. This room is really hard. There we go. You get the hitbox for hitting enemies with the ground pound is slightly larger than the hitbox for getting hit by the enemy. I guess your hurt box. I'm not sure what how exactly they line up, but you can basically ground pound on them from the side before they hit you. You just barely make that cycle where that enemy would have hit you. There's another little skip. You can make that jump up there. Reminds you of Hollow Knight. That's an interesting comparison. Here's a skip that I discovered. You can do that. Jump on it while it's falling. Oops. Okay, I totally messed up this one. There we go. You can actually utilize these orbs. I'm not sure what they call them. That unlocks the secret path up here. I just died. Every platformer is Hollow Knight. We're not doing this again. You just walk on thin air and then there's a warp up here. Here's another water section. So the thing that I wanted to say last time. First of all, it kind of looks like you're some sort of fish, right? Like a squid, maybe? I guess that's not technically correct, but you know what I mean. Some sort of aquatic creature. Also, this reminds me of a game that's like kind of obscure. The developer of Cave Story made a game before Cave Story as like sort of practice. This game is super, or this like underwater movement is really similar to that game. Anyway, you can keep going up in this room, but we're just gonna go to the side here and die. We're gonna die. Actually, these games are made in Game Maker. I know that for certain, and I'm pretty sure that they are just made to resemble the game, but they don't actually use the same like. They're not like. Oh my gosh, I keep dying there. They aren't made like the old games are. They're just made to resemble the way that they look. I forgot the strategy for this room, but I'll try to remember it next time. There we go. Did you touch the spikes, you die? Really? That's good to know. It's a boss fight. Unlike last time, I'm gonna kill it in like 10 seconds. And there we go. It's the red egg. This is actually the shortest, or the fastest egg to get, so this is basically the enemy center route, what I just did. Marley of the Sage. This character actually shows up in a later game. Best boss fight ever. They're actually, like, pretty interesting boss. It's just that you can do that, and it kind of makes it really easy. In this room, I've actually optimized it too much, where sometimes I run into that spider because I'm moving too fast. Anyway, here's another path. Oops, that's I forgot to do this room. There we go. This is... This room is actually really difficult because this enemy here has like really bizarre behavior that I don't quite understand. And you have to jump off of them, so you need to know exactly when they're going to jump, but sometimes they delay it for some reason. Maybe you see that happen. There we go, that little hop that they did, I don't know why they do it. If they do the hop, then they jump in the wrong direction, or they don't, but it's still delayed. Okay, see, that time they turned around. I don't understand them. But if they work the way that you want them to, then you can just bounce off them like that. And then I forgot what to do there. You're supposed to do a slide. And you're supposed to actually make that jump. Oops. You have to buffer the jump input after this or before the slide, or after you start the slide before it ends. Otherwise, you just fall to your death. There we go. Had to slow down because I kind of in a bad spot. Okay, another water section. This is actually one of my favorite levels. Because the way you optimize water movement is to basically try to move. Actually, here, I'll describe it like this. Imagine you take a string and you want to run that string from the beginning to the end of the level. And imagine after you hold the string all the way through, pulling on the very end of it until it's pulling on the string so that it's I don't know why I forget the word for this, but like the path of the string. Why is the stream doing this again? YouTube is very unstable. Thank you, YouTube /OBS /internet /computer. Who knows what the problem is? Looks like it's fine. Anyway, the idea for underwater levels is that you want to basically move in as straight of a path as you can, but without going up too much or going down too much. Because for however much you go up, you need to fall down, and you can't move forward and fall at the same time. Anyway, this level, I have some history with this level. This could be the hardest room in the whole game. Or not. It's weird. Actually, I'll just do it the slow way. So at the end here, look at how long we have to wait. And then we can start pushing this eye up here, and then you can bounce off of it. So your goal is to get up here. There's a warp. There's a portal right here. The thing is that with the movements that I just did, you have to wait for the eye to roll all the way over here. Right? So that cycle that you're waiting for at the end, I have not been able to catch the next cycle. Even spending literally hours on this room trying to optimize the movement as much as possible, I have not been able to do it. And you can do that, like you can jump early, but these guys with the spikes, they maybe they are the spikes. They stop moving when you're in the air. So you see that time he didn't stop moving early. The way this game works, everything that happens in the room is on a cycle that starts the moment you enter the room. And it's the same every time, so if you die and reset, it's the same cycle. Maybe it's not. It might be a different cycle when you spawn in. That actually is true for like 2 rooms in the whole game. I don't know why. But in pretty much every room, the cycle is it starts on the start of the room. Or some enemies, like their behavior depends on when you get close to them. Like these guys, the pattern of them walking back and forth, that's on the cycle. It's consistent. I'm bad at the start of this. This guy is really hard to jump over because he's really close to the edge of the platform. And they have that tiny little bit of space to land and then do another jump without running into him. And you kind of slide a little bit on the floor too. Anyway, I don't know how much it's worth it to try to like hit the cycle because it's so impossible. Yeah, I think I'll just continue through this room normally, even though I already messed up. But I think this room is like has a lot of potential time save if you have like task level movements. I messed that up. I should have done the air dash. The problem is that I practice the really fast movements so much that I do it every time, even though I shouldn't. So I should really like get more consistent at the normal strategy. Really? I thought I'd be running for some reason when I landed. Oh my gosh. Okay, I should really just get through this level. I don't know why I'm so bad at it. And then even if you go that fast, whoops. Okay, I missed another cycle for no reason, but you still have to wait for the eye to roll over there. Let's just get out of here. I don't understand this room. This is the one room in the whole game I don't understand because it's literally empty. How many hours do I have in this game? Are you asking about UFO 50 or Mooncat specifically? These, whoops. Well, let's just ran into that. These, spiders on the ceiling, they are actually not on a cycle. They're the only random enemy in the entire game. So, this run has some RNG in it. Like, in that situation, I was moving as fast as I could, and the fireball just happened to land on me. Of course, you could slow down. Oops. I thought I'd make that jump. UFO. Like 200 at this point. 193.9. It's almost 100. I was like trying to slow down because of that fireball. Really? See, yeah, RNG can mess you up and prevent you from doing the optimal movement. At least here, like, you have to wait for the cycle anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. Okay, just kidding. Yeah, happens all the time. Spiders dropping fire on my head. Experience with movement. Yeah, I've practiced. Okay, hold on, I did that wrong. This boss has a very specific strategy that's kind of hard to memorize. There we go. I'm pretty sure you can do this faster. I just haven't looked into optimizing it too much. There we go. And just for completeness, I'm actually gonna run through the blue egg, which is the egg that I got at the beginning, but I'll just take the warps that make that faster. It's actually pretty much exactly the same as the red, or yeah, the red egg. But the red egg kind of takes like another path that leads to the warp. See, I actually would have ran into the spider there. I'm going to talk a little bit about the jumping in this game. There's 3 levels of jump heights. There we go. Let me find a room to demonstrate this. Not this room, because I want to do this first try. I messed up. Okay, so in this room, you can control the height of your jump. So you got a big jump. The height of the jump depends on how long you hold the button before you release it. So if you hold it down, eventually it'll automatically release and do a big jump. If you hold it down for a little bit shorter, you'll do a medium jump. And if you just tap it, you do a small jump. And I actually went and tested the time of these. For the small jump, you have to hold it for up to 3 frames, or even like if you hold it for 1 frame or 2 frames or 3 frames, it'll do a small jump. For 4 frames to 8 frames, I don't actually remember. Shoot, it's like 4 to 8 frames is the medium jump, and then 9 frames. 10 or 11 frames is the big jump. The thing about this, if you release the button after 4 frames, you'll do a medium jump. And if you release it after 9 frames, you'll also do a medium jump. So that's a few frames that you lost just for like holding down the jump button too long. So technically, there's always just a handful of frames of optimization every single time you jump. Just by releasing the jump button on the first possible frame to still get the jump height that you want. Which is concerning. You know, there may be a time where, you know, frame perfectly releasing your jumps lets you catch a cycle that saves like a second or 2. And yes, that is relevant to this game. I did not mean to do that. Sometimes I accidentally press a key again after jumping, I don't know why. And then I do that. This game that I'm playing right now, within the collection, it's called Mooncat. The collection as a whole, that's UFO 50, because it has 50 games. So this is where we would take the other path to go to the red egg, but we're going to the green egg. We just continue on as normal. Oops, I thought he'd be closer to me. Okay. That's that. I'm not super confident about the movement at the end of that room. I did test it against a few other options, and that was the fastest that I found, but it kind of feels weird to do it still. But the enemies are in really weird spots. I love that. The fact that you can jump out of that really long slide. So this room. Let me talk about this room. This is potentially the most difficult room in the whole run. Because, okay, let me show how you normally do it. The easy strategy for this room is pretty slow. Because these platforms are all in a cycle, but you can't catch it immediately. You have to wait for this platform to go all the way up and then all the way down. And then you can finally go up. And you have to wait for this platform to move. It's just a whole lot of waiting. And at this point, you can finally keep moving, right? That's the slow way to do that room. The fast way is extremely difficult. I'll try to do it now. The idea is that you land on the platform as it's going down and jump off of it. Oops. Don't do that. This might actually take like 10 minutes. See, that's the idea. But that didn't give me enough heights. Well, like controls are funky. I think mostly, yeah. The controls are weird to get used to, but I think that makes it so much better. If it was just a regular platformer, it would be really easy for most players. Oh, I did. There we go. That's the hard strat. It might actually be frame perfect, but I haven't tested it completely. If the game had normal platformer controls, it'd be so easy for most players, and you'd beat the game in like 10 minutes, and then that'd be that. But because the controls are strange, you have to spend some time to like get to know it and figure things out. And then once you actually get to the point where you can play through it like confidently and like have good control over your character, it's way more satisfying because you had to struggle to get to that point, you know? You kind of lose all of your muscle memory from playing games in the past. It's all like a fresh experience. Ah, that's difficult. I purposely didn't finish the boss fight because I want to showcase a really stupid strategy that could potentially let you kill the boss much faster. Basically, as long as you are moving down in a ground pound, you can hit enemies. Even if you are inside them. You know, if they would hit you, you actually hit them first. Long live stream, usually 3 hours. Maybe a bit shorter than that. So I'm already struggling to just start it. You have to hit them like 7 times or something? I don't know, I haven't counted. But if you hit the ground, you're no longer in your ground pound state. So... And sometimes you go like way too high. The way that it like snaps you to the top. It's interesting. But I think you get the idea. You keep chaining those hits while like staying completely inside of them. It means that each time you hit them, it's like the first possible frame. So I think that'd be like theoretically the fastest fight, but it's like all of the inputs are like extremely tight windows, like a few frames each. Every single time you start a jump and release a jump and start the ground pound, all of those are like very precise timings. So we don't do that, or at least I don't do that. Maybe someone will eventually. I feel like out of all the games, I mean, Mooncat is one of the few like just normal platformers. There's games that have like platform controls. So I guess you'd call them side scrollers. But it's not just about the movement and the platforming, right? Sometimes I miss the jump completely. I think Mooncat has some of the best, has like one of the best speedruns. There we go. So, I think I want to try actually doing attempts, which means I have to decide which one to do. So, okay. There's, here in the main menu, there's the 3 eggs at the bottom. And yes, there is 2-player mode. You can play with another person. I don't really know what happens. Anyway, there's 3 eggs. Each egg is an ending, and thus a speedrun category. I've done a speedrun of each of them individually. Red is the fastest, then yellow, then green. Or blue. I called it blue for a while, but I guess it is more green, or maybe exactly in the middle. But there's a speedrun category for each egg, as well as a warpless category for getting the blue egg without going into any portal. And a cherry. They're called cherry because when you like 100% a game, you get a cherry for it. So each game has like a beat the game and then do extra to get the cherry. So in Mooncat, the cherry is to get all the eggs, and that's its own speedrun. So basically just do all the eggs in a row. I have done all the runs except for warpless and cherry, and the green egg run can be optimized a lot. There's like a pretty big time save. The problem is that it's extremely difficult. It's that platform thing that I oh, yeah, don't do that. The platform thing. But I don't know how I can do that in a run, because it's like super difficult. So I might just end up resetting a whole lot. And the red egg run, I can improve that run, but it only has like a few seconds left to optimize at most. So it'd be a lot of like just barely trying to go a little bit faster in each room. And overall it'd save like 2 seconds at most. That run is pretty optimized. There is another tech. I'm actually just gonna show this for a second. Not in this room, but in most rooms in the game. I'll have to get over there first. Okay, so here we are. Right about here. No. Right about here. A little bit ahead of me. That's the, like, I guess you could say it's a loading zone, but not really. It's the area where you start walking into the next room. When you enter this zone, you start a slow walking animation. The same speed as your regular walking speed. But you could be running, right? You could be moving faster. And actually, if you slide into it, so let me do kind of like that. I didn't do it very well, but if you slide into the transition, you'll keep your running speed and then enter the next room a little bit faster. So in basically every room, that's just a little time save. It's maybe like 7 frames, I think is what I timed it as. Or 5 frames, so somewhere around that range of a few frames. But across the whole run, maybe that's like a second of time save. So it's something that I need to get used to doing. Anyway, do I have splits? There we go. That's kind of small. Maybe that's good. Yeah, 106 attempts. But I think I will just start doing attempts with this. I'll go for the skip at the end, but if I fail it, I'm not going to reset. I'll just like do the normal strategy. So you can just do the regular routes after failing the skip. Also, I want to mention, oops, the slide is slightly faster than running. And when you do an air dash, oops, that is not a huge world record. Shoot, how do I undo that? Okay, what was the time like 10 seconds ago? 4:57? But when you do an air dash and land during the dash, you get a little slide afterwards. And that slide is just a little bit faster than running. So it's optimal that you time the dash such that you can get the slide. But if the dash ends midair, you won't get the slide when you land. But also you want to dash as early as possible because then you spend more time in the air at your faster dash speed, right? So there's like a perfect time to dash where like 1 frame before the dash ends, you land on the ground and then do the slide. But I don't know what that timing is. I know what it is for like most platforms. But not like every single jump in the game or time that you would land. I missed that cycle. I have a game called To Kill a God. I actually just saw it on Steam today. So I haven't really heard of it at all. But I know that it exists. Otherwise, I know literally nothing. That's called messing up a whole lot. Now, it's funny, you know, I've speedrun Rain World plenty of times, but, you know, I don't really reset after every minor mistake in that game. Because you could potentially lose a lot more time to bad creature spawns, right? So even if you make a small movement mistakes, you know, you may save time later by not encountering a creature. Where you may have run into that creature in a different run. But this game, you know, it's not Rain World, my gosh. And technically, I mean, I guess there's a little bit of RNG with the red spiders, but they just randomly kill you, they don't slow you down. So if you get lucky, then you can continue to move at your maximum speed. I did look into one of the games, the browser one. It looks bizarre. That's all. That's all I saw. I don't know why it's difficult. This is like not a difficult trick. But I think that Mooncat, if optimized a lot, it will get to the point where you're saving like a few frames, you know? You know, where a world record might be a few milliseconds faster than the previous. In fact, I actually had a world record in this game that got broken by a few milliseconds. Like, it literally already happened. But I've since gotten it back. Oops, hold on, let me start the timer properly. There we go. I think exactly what you described in that comment, in that message, I think that is what I want this channel to be. I kind of had some ambitious ideas in the past of like things that I wanted to do, but I didn't have the skills to do, or the patience to learn those skills. I think if I can occasionally play a game that is very obscure that may not have much discussion about it, or many videos of it online, I want to be able to like play through the game, talk about it, say, hey, this game is really neat. I wish more people would talk about it, you know? And there's some really obscure games. Well, okay, I guess there's always going to be a more obscure game that I don't know about, so obviously that's kind of the definition. I'm bad. But there's, you know, some games that I really enjoy that just aren't really that well known, or they don't have much, you know, video online. Or people talking about it. Like, if they do have a video, it's probably like a 10-minute long gameplay video with no commentary at all. And like 2 comments, and it's like, where's all the people who are talking about how great this game is? That's what I want to see. I released the button before I pressed the other one. It's really hard to describe how mistakes happen in this game, because it's like there's so few buttons. A mistake might be pressing one button slightly before pressing another, and that makes all the difference. But I guess that's like the only way you can make a mistake. more fun to find obscure stuff. Well, okay, you find some obscure game and you're alone, essentially. I mean, maybe I'm not looking too like hard enough for finding the right communities. Like, maybe I could find some random Discord server that talks about this game that I like, or whatever game, you know. But the way that it feels is I play this game and I'm like, this is cool, and then I'm like sitting here like, I guess that's that, you know. Yeah, I get to experience it. Yeah, sometimes it's like the like exclusivity of it is kind of like what makes it appealing. Like, you kind of wish that the community stayed small. Like, maybe if it got really big and popular, then a bunch of annoying people would show up. I mean, that kind of happens with every game, but I've kind of accepted that that's just gonna happen, and you can just ignore it. You know, Undertale is a game that I enjoy. I think it's a good game, and there's definitely sides of the community that I don't interact with at all. And you know, they can do whatever they want. So they can have their fun. I'm just not gonna, you know, be a part of it. I think that's fine. I can still enjoy the game as it is on its own, just as much, you know. It's actually the same thing with Rain World. I don't know why I use Undertale as an example. I already have the perfect game. Rain World has a little bit of that, where there's a big side of the community that is a certain way that I kind of stay away from. But I can still enjoy the game. Yeah, it's the same for the characters in Rain World. It's a fun example. Or Gourmand. Like, there's a lot of Gourmand fans, allegedly. I don't know where they are, but they apparently exist. Maybe I don't enjoy playing the character, but if it's you know, it definitely is someone's favorite character. Or when I did a bunch of speedruns of Spearmaster, like every single Spearmaster fan on the planet showed up to those streams. That's not true, but a decent amount of them. Like, oh, I really like this character. It's cool that you're speedrunning it. I'm like, I don't like this character. Also, I'm making a lot of movement mistakes. I forgot to do the thing at the end, but that was really good. Ah. The sprites seem to be like on a grid. I think that's the way it works, right? Like, it's a sprite sheet that is cut up into like 16 by 16 or 8 by 8 segments, and any sprite larger than that is basically composed of the smaller sprites just kind of attached together. Yeah, I guess the spiders are a bit flat on the top. Alright, see ya. Thanks for stopping by. I totally messed up that beginning of that room. That's how you're supposed to do it. It's kind of like in the original Super Mario, the bushes and the clouds are the same stripe. Did you know that? Yeah, everyone knows that. That's like the example they use every single time. Whatever. Let's just keep going. Okay. I timed that totally wrong. Yeah, some of the platforms are different color. People had some sort of... A lot of people have had ideas that like, oh, that means there's some sort of secret. Yeah, some of the tiles are blue. Job. UFO 50 is kind of a reminder that you don't need a game to be super complex to be enjoyable. Like, I feel like it's kind of saying like, hey, are you a game developer? You want to make a game, but they're too complex? Try making an NES game. Just really small scale. Purposely limit yourself and make things simpler. And maybe don't limit yourself to the point where it actually makes it more difficult. But, you know, to a point where it's... I don't know where I was going with that. And also, a lot of these games are, like, quite small. Sometimes when you land, you try to change direction, but if you change direction and frame perfectly, you just keep walking in the same direction. It's kind of weird. But also, it depends on other buttons that you're pressing. But, like... I mean, the developers, when making the whole collection, they had to manage the scope very well. Yeah, they had so many games to finish, they had to make some of them smaller and simpler and more focused. Probably most of them. That was actually a time I changed the button that I was pressing, but I did it frame perfectly, so I kept going in that direction. I wish I had an input display, but I don't know how to set it up so that it only shows 2 keys. Because I have the input display of my whole keyboard, but that doesn't include the arrow keys, which is what I'm using. I wish it was easier to make a custom input display that just shows, you know, I can just pick a key and say I want to show that key. But all I have is a bunch of like pre-made templates, and I don't know how to edit them. Actually, I think I might be able to edit them, but I don't want to mess with that because I feel like it is designed in a very specific way. Good job. This game is actually a perfect example of the kind of game where it is completely determined by your own skill. Any mistakes you make, they're your mistakes. I messed that up. Whatever. It means that any time save is based on your own improvement, and not by getting lucky or just doing a ton of attempts. But also, it's kind of still like that because the movement might get so difficult that you need to do a lot of attempts to do it successfully, you know? So it kind of like wraps back around to being RNG. But also you can actually directly influence the chances of everything just by practicing. Also, it's funny that I'm still calling it RNG because it's just randomness. It's just you know, not a computer. Okay. Way too high of a jump. That was so close. Okay, time for a stupid difficult trick. Okay, that's never happened before. I guess I just jumped up too early, huh? I'm gonna keep going just for practice. Oh, thank you so much for that. Yeah, I saw that coming and then just kind of accepted it. I'd like to do this first try. Okay. I guess that's one way to save it, but also I forget when to stop the timer. Let me actually check that real quick so that I don't mess it up when I do the actual run. Okay, after the egg disappears, essentially. They're dropping more frames. Yes, thank you, OBS. I should probably record. I actually don't know what if the recording will pick up the game audio. I should probably. Oh wow, I dropped so many frames. Oh wow, the whole thing was because I closed OBS because I didn't want it to cause any problems. Why are you like this, OBS? Why do you cause me so many problems? I guess okay, we're just waiting. Someday maybe it's dropped 27,000 frames. 17% of the whole stream. I mean, actually, I guess I can test the, I can look at the audio settings. Somewhere in here. Um, that's interesting. Somewhere in here is the option to change it, but I'm not sure which one it is. It's still dropping frames. It's just been going like this. We're just it's just how the stream is now. Well, I would like it to not be laggy if I actually complete a successful attempt. It's consistently at like half of the bit rate it should be. It's just hanging out at that zone. Do I have to like reset the whole stream to fix this? Is it a YouTube problem? YouTube looks fine. Excellent. Stream is healthy. Great connection. Thank you. That's very useful information. Definitely tells me what to fix. Yeah, I guess I'll try resetting the stream. I don't know if this will break everything. Oh, we'll see. Okay, it should be back, but it's still doing it. It's consistently at like 12 FPS. Why? Why? Um, I don't think I changed any settings. I'm not recording same frame rate resolution. I mean, the start of the stream was fine. Okay, well, I'll try resetting it again. I guess I'll do it more. Well, that's great. Very, very happy about that. Oh, now YouTube is like, oh, you have a problem. Yeah, now there's a problem. Now something has happened. It's achieved a very stable state of dropping about 60% of the frames, and it's just hanging out at that zone constantly. after also resetting OBS twice, stopping the stream. So that's cool. Just, I mean, I could try to go somewhere with more movement so you can see it. Oh, wow, the frame rate is so high when I'm just playing the game. That's crazy. Yeah, it just looks awful, and it's also buffering every once in a while. Maybe it doesn't like UFO 50. Nope. Literally nothing. If I go to the waiting screen, will it be frozen still? Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess that's it. I'll stream this again later if it decides to work. Thanks for watching.